Hi, my name's Steve, and I'm making this video on behalf of the Gate to Heaven Ministry. This video will show you how to make a drink, a recipe that will help to prevent the coronavirus. It's like a tea kind of, but it tastes like a vegetable stock, vegetable broth type of thing. Anyway, so I'm going to show you, there's just a few ingredients that you have to boil, and then you add a few things after it's boiled. I'll show you, but before I get into that, the Gate to Heaven Ministry, to which I'm representing, it's a small but mighty ministry based out of Toronto. Essentially, God chose this woman named Rochelle. She's like a mystic, a prophet, a visionary. If you can imagine Moses, Padre Pio, St. Catherine of Siena, Bridget of Sweden, St. Faustina, all wrapped into one, and St. Joan of Arc. And anyway, so God speaks to her. We write things down. We have 4 or 5 books that we put out. He speaks to her a lot, especially now because there's so much going on, and sin has literally overtaken the entire earth. That's why all these things are happening. So without getting too much into that, because you're going to click away if I do, but I'm just going to show you how to make it now. If you want to know more about the Gate to Heaven Ministry, we have a blog, and there's a prayer list email that goes out. But for now, it's easy to learn more. You just click the link below. I'll put a link to the blog, Gate to Heaven Ministries blog at Blogger. Anyway, you'll see the link. So now we'll just get right into how to make the recipe. I apologize, I'm just using my camera phone. So this is, the first ingredient is rapini. It's kind of like broccoli, but a little bit more bitter. It's very good for you. I've seen in other cases it's for like liver cleansing and all that stuff. Anyway, I don't know. That's not my specialty. For now, I know what this recipe involves. So take about 7 pieces, the stems with the leaves. You take 7 of them. Then you take about 5 spinach leaves. Just any will do, whether it's in a bunch or if it's like in a bag like this. And then the third natural ingredient is something called dandelion. It's in like the dandelion chicory family. Anyway, if you find this in the grocery store, great. You need you need 5 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you can't find this, don't fret. You can use the dandelion tea bags, which are very easy to find at grocery store, Whole Foods store, health food store, wherever. So you take those 3 ingredients I'll show you over here. These are prepared. I like to cut them, like the bigger, thicker ones, I cut them down a little bit so they fit in the pot a little better. And basically, so some of the more important items to know, you're not going to be doing this 3 times a day. You have to take it 3 times a day, but you're not going to go through this. I mean, no one would. So I always just make every day. You can also make it up to 2 days if you wish. So you have to drink it morning, noon, and night, so 3 times, and each time you take it, it's 1 cup. So whatever you boil from, I start with about 4 or 5 cups of water. You're going to have to gauge, you're going to make it a few times and figure out which one's better. But as long as you got the ingredient part right, you got to reduce it down to about 3 cups. If you have a little bit left over, fine, drink it the next day, add it to the next batch, whatever. And you'll know after you do it a few times how long you leave the lid on. Obviously, it has to reduce from 4 or 5 cups to 3 cups, which is each cup is 8 ounces. So you got to reduce it to about 24 ounces. For our American friends, we use cups here in Canada. So you got to get about 3 cups left, and that's 1 daily dose for 1 person. You reduce it, you strain it, you reduce it, you strain it, then you pour the 1 cup in. Put the 1 cup, and then the last 3 ingredients are blessed water, holy water. You can get it from Catholic Church. Now it might be harder to find, but if you have some in the house, just ask around, you can find it. And holy oil, you can get these from different shrines. They're a little bit harder to find, but you can also find them online, order them. Like at different shrines will have online stores. This bottle's been sitting around for a while, so it might go a bit rancid. It's a little harder on the stomach, so you might want to get a newer one. I have this newer one. It's it's fresher. So the last ingredient is the baking soda, just a small pinch. Okay, so as we said we sent out an email with the recipe. It's exactly like I said, but it's just a clarification. It's not changing it. The part about the dandelion, it didn't mention that if you could find it fresh like this, you get 5 pieces. Okay, so it's just a clarification, but follow what's on the blog. It's the same as what's on the video. Okay, so make this. It will help you to ward off the coronavirus, to prevent from getting it. Remember, don't panic. Trust in the Lord always. As Padre Pio said, pray and do not worry. And remember that God is, He's in control. He's allowing what He's allowing for the purification of the earth, for our souls. It's always for a greater good. And I think personally, this is my opinion, that we've gone too far astray as a world, as a civilization. So I think God is calling us back to put God at the beginning, at the center of our hearts, our homes, our families, our schools, our churches, our cities, and the world. Okay? God bless, and I hope this is clear enough. Again, you can find more information if you go down below to the blog, and God bless you. Thanks very much. Take care. Hi, it's me again, Steve. So I'm doing this second video. I'm going to tack it on to the end of the first one, just to keep it simple. Just a few things to reiterate, clarify. I'm not a big chef or anything. I didn't clarify. Get the water boiling first before you throw the ingredients. Again, it has to boil at least 10 to 15 minutes. Again, since it's only boiling for 10 or 15 minutes, maybe not using 4 to 5 cups to reduce to 3. I don't know. You have to figure out, it's going to be different for each person. So I don't know if 1 or 2 cups would evaporate in only that short amount of time. But it's really not the end of the world anyway, because if you have a little bit left over, you're trying to get to 3 cups, which is 24 ounces. But if you have a little extra, like I said, you can drink it the next day, add it to the next batch, whatever. Next is, this is a recipe. I know I might have said remedy at some point, but remedy implies that it's like once you have it, then you take this. No, this is to build up your immune system, to protect you, to prevent you from getting coronavirus. Okay, so again, it's to build up your immune, to prevent it. I was at the grocery store as well, and I didn't really find the dandelion tea, but I did find the natural dandelion and the rapini, no problem, at like 2 different stores. So it's up to you. But I did go to a health food store, and I got a bunch of the dandelion. I'll show you after, once I take the phone in my hand. And also I'm gonna, because there's a link to the blog in this YouTube video, I'm gonna just show you what it looks like. I'm not great at like editing and all that stuff, so I'm still really new to the YouTube world, so please be kind, be patient. Oh, and on that note, I did show, I made about 10 versions of the first one, but 3 good ones I showed to Rochelle. She asked the Lord, this is how incredible it is. As long as she's in tune with Him and she's praying, because this is God's work and He wants it, He will answer. And He is the CEO. This is His ministry. We're just helping along. So he said that she asked him, and he liked the second one. Anyway, it's the one you're going to be seeing. So, but since she saw that, he has told her also what the ingredients, what their significance is, what it does for the body, etc. So I'm going to show that to you. Well, we're just going to read it off. Okay, so if you're patient, just going to get this. Alright, so again with the dandelion tea, you can make sure you get the one that has at least leaves in it. Leaf and root is acceptable. The optimal is leaves. There are some that just say dandelion root. If it's your last resort and there's no other option, fine. But the best option is leaves. Second is the leaf and root. And of course you can use the fresh ones that I showed you in the first video. So here is the blog / website. Alright, so if you click the link on the YouTube, you'll be brought here to the home. But I urge you, if you've never heard of the ministry, this is your first introduction to it. I just created today this section called Welcome. This is specifically for you, as you will see in the write-up. And then I just put the video that we did for Christmas, so you can see Rochelle. Okay, there is a video here called The Epidemic. It's on the side. Check that out. That is amazing, especially for now with this pandemic going on. It was filmed like 4 years ago, but it's still amazing. You'll see when you watch it. It's just like 4 or 5 minutes. He's not rambling on like I am. So here you can find prayers. I urge you to do here. It's important enough to show you. There are 3 prayers that the Lord had said to Rochelle to make sure people do them. So there's the exorcism prayer, spiritual warfare prayer, and breaking the bondage of a curse. Those are not original to her, but he always urges her to tell us, do the 3 prayers. They're very powerful. Of course, the rosary and mass and all that. And here there's so you just click it and it'll be alright. And then you just print it off. It's very simple. So finally, the last thing is the ingredients and what they do. Again, this is the coronavirus update I did a few days ago. Here is a message that God gave to her regarding coronavirus, just a short one. Okay, that's basically what it is. He gives her a message, we type it. They don't all, most of them don't make it on the blog, but the ones that are for everyone, they do. And then here's God's recipe to prevent the coronavirus. I showed this on the first video. Okay. So, sorry. Now, ingredients. So, the spinach is to make the iron level better and stronger. Now again, just to clarify, God speaks to Rochelle the way she will understand. She's not like highly educated or anything like that, sophisticated, but she's extremely gifted, and English again is not her first language. It seems like mine isn't either, but so he speaks to her the way she will understand. So iron level better and stronger with spinach. Dandelion is to cleanse the blood, and the rapini is to make, this is her words, well, his words, so she understands it, the skin of the brain stronger so that it will be harder for any negative forces to penetrate. So basically it's the most outer layer of the brain. And I looked it up, I think it's called the meninges. Okay, and then the baking soda is for the cleansing of the whole body, and the blessed oil and blessed water is to cover us spiritually And it also represents that we are calling on God and that we want his help. That's an act of faith. And then he said to her, "That is why it is good to drink this recipe to fight the good fight against the coronavirus." And I just reiterate again, this is not a cure. It is to prevent. Okay, thanks so much. God bless. By the time you see this, if it's the earliest, you might get it Friday, March 19th, which is the feast of St. Joseph. St. Joseph, please pray for us.